We foster and volunteer and do some transporting.
Been involved just over 2 years.
Since 2013.
I'm a little over 3 years, and in 2009 or early 10 is when we got our first foster dog.
2.5 years, I think.
About 2 years now.
Been since about 2012.
So yeah, 3 years then. I've been at the shelter and I've been fostering for about 2.5.
Gateway Pet Guardians started in 2004, supporting the efforts of PJ Hightower. She was feeding the strays in East St. Louis and the surrounding communities each day. She would call on her neighbors or friends to foster these animals, take them in. In 2004, some ladies got together and they decided to formalize Gateway Pet Guardians and form the nonprofit that it is today. And then our humanitarian of the year is one of our founders, and we're so excited to honor her this year, Julia Middlestott. Again, she's a friend of mine. She's just seen the vision of Gateway and has helped me really implement and kind of blaze the trail to where we are today. And
founding story was I got together with some other girlfriends. PJ was on her own trying to rescue as many dogs as she could on the east side. And I just had a brain blip that we should start a 501c3.
Since then, we look very different. We started community outreach program, we have an education program, we have a huge foster-based program, a shelter now that we never had before, and we're making a huge impact in the community.
I've been on the board, almost everything. I've been president, vice president, when the need is there. PJ used to call me in the morning. I'm coming over with a puppy. She would pick it up knowing that I would make room for it somehow or another.
I am from the Metro East area, and when I learned that there was an organization that was doing so much for the animals in the community that I saw, strays running, I didn't realize there was this organization that was helping them. I immediately got involved and wanted to help out as much as I could.
This is Spring. She's one of my shelter babies. No, you sit your little butt down. Yes, that's a good girl. I got involved because I met these crazy neighbors of mine that came walking by my house with like 5 adult dogs, and they were being followed by a herd of puppies, like 12 puppies just running through the neighborhood. And I was like, oh my God, who are you people? You need to be my best friends. And I found out that they were fosters for Gateway, and we just fell in love and became best friends, and they suckered me right in.
I moved here to St. Louis 4 years ago. I tried to meet friends, no luck, so I found Gateway Pet Guardians online, and I instantly grew my friends base by hundreds, so I feel like I'm part of the family now.
A few years ago, I took a job at a company in East St. Louis, and I started to see the stray problem there, and so I started to research to see if there were any organizations that helped. And I came across Gateway Pet Guardians from a friend that recommended it on a Facebook post, and then the rest is history.
I originally just wanted to help at the shelter, walk dogs, but as time went on, I saw some needs where I could offer some expertise I had in the nonprofit and volunteer sector. So I jumped in with both feet, and here I am.
Many years ago, we adopted our first dog from Gateway Pet Guardians, a cute little puppy named Morgan. And about a year later, we started fostering, and it just kind of went from there.
One of my friends, Tanya Kolker, I saw her do a post on Facebook about outreach. So then I applied to volunteer and started at the shelter. Went from shelter to shelter guardian to outreach to fundraising lead.
I got more interested in working with people. So that's kind of what attracted me to Gateway, the fact that I feel like I'm really useful with my background in doing adoptions, but that we're also working with people.
My sister Jen started volunteering at the shelter probably 4 years ago, and she brought me along with her, and I was hooked after that.
Our philanthropist of the year is the Syberg family. They've been really instrumental in helping us bring some much needed funding and awareness to our organization. The Sybergs are a staple family in the community, and we are just so happy to have their support.
When I first got involved, I adopted my dog, Sookie, from Gateway Pet Guardians, I guess about 5 years ago now. And it kind of got me interested in it. I work really close to the shelter, so I looked for a place to volunteer to kind of spend more time with the dogs. So then I found Gateway Pet Guardians online.
Well, because my daughter got involved, so that made me get involved. So
our organization was and is primarily foster-based. So every one of those animals has touched a foster home at some point in time. Our fosters of the year, the Meyer family, they take in some of our hardest cases, our feral, shy dogs. Again, we've kind of, we've almost eliminated that population, but they're kind of our shy experts.
Late in 2010, we ran into some volunteers at a festival we were working at, and that's how we basically learned about Gateway Pet Guardians.
This year is interesting, and we've kind of realized a few things. We were, as an organization, growing at a very quick rate, slowly building over time, and we're finally starting to see kind of a plateau, which is, nice as far as all of us being able to kind of breathe a little bit. This is our time to sit back and kind of reflect and see where we were, where we are now, where we are going forward.
I see progress. Some people don't. It used to be that it was just never ending. And now you can go out and not even see a single dog running around loose because of the education that we've done. It's been key in getting people to keep their pets from running loose, getting on board with the community. Now they'll stop us to get, information on how to get pet food pantry, how can they get to a shot clinic, when are we going to do another one, all that kind of stuff.
I do community outreach. I used to do the feeding route, and now I just do outreach, going out, working with families, providing whatever we can provide for them.
There's leadership opportunities, there's opportunities to meet new people, network. I just feel like I've grown tremendously as a result.
And I've seen it grow from a tiny organization where we were happy to adopt 5 dogs a month, and now we're rescuing and adopting hundreds of dogs a year. And the role that we've played in the community is just outstanding.
We are currently on track to rescue over 150 animals off of the euthanasia list at St. Clair County Animal Control. We have already rescued 130 strays from the streets. Over 100 have been surrendered from community members. When our space has been tight, we have been able to network over 70 animals to other local rescues, and over 50 of those rescued have been cats and kittens.
We obviously need to prevent as many pets going into the shelters as possible, but trust, build relationships, and fulfill the promise that we have given.
Every time I see a dog that I've helped change, it makes you feel really good.
So I don't think of it in terms of giving back, because I think that I get more from the people and the animals that I work with than I get from them.
Fortunate to have a successful business, so we got to give back to the community, and like I said with Gateway, it was a great organization. We weren't affiliated with anybody, as far as pets go.
Follow that dog through its little progression from scared to confident to in a foster home, forever home, and it's like a high that no drug can provide.
We've been trying to add new things to help people feel connected to a community, like happy hours and other events. And we're also really working on training people and orienting them so that they know about the organization that they're getting involved with.
I do what I do because I could not sleep at night knowing I wasn't doing something to help these guys.
I feel like we're helping the animals, and I feel like I things to bring to the table, and it makes me feel like I'm helping them. So I enjoy meeting new people, meeting new fosters.
Because I love what Gateway does, their mission to help end the homelessness in East St. Louis for the pets. It's just something that other organizations don't do.
I love animals. I think it's a no-brainer, and I think working with volunteers, I'm just inspired every day because people give so much of their time and their energy and their talents and creativity.
A lot of the people we deal with want to care for their pets properly, but they don't always know how. They don't always know what's appropriate. And being able to play a role in an entire community, learning how to give their pets proper care, has just been really rewarding.
My favorite part is watching the dogs transition from so scared and that way, and then you just see them turn into these different lovable, love to be around people.
I don't know how else to be. I think that, service to others is really the meaning of life, and if you're not helping other people, then I don't know what else you do with your time. It's just, service is a way of life.
Ultimately, give people the resources that they need so that they don't have to be faced with surrendering their pet to a shelter.
The first time you actually see a street dog actually sleep in your house for the first time. I mean, it's huge.
I remember that you guys were doing the event with Wings for Wags, but it was called Pasta for Pets. We were looking for new venues, so she'd mentioned it to me, and we thought the O'Fallon store, the Cyber's O'Fallon, worked out really well for us, and I think it's going to grow from there too. So.
Because it's innate in me, I love animals and I hate to see them suffer, and I've been doing this since I was a little kid. When you see a dog go to a home and has a family that it gets to stay with, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I would say our biggest thing that we did in 2016 was our play groups. So we had a group called Dogs Play for Life come to the shelter and teach us how to run play groups safely and effectively to get the dogs out, get them socialized, and just run off some of that pent-up energy from being in their kennels all day. So it's really cool. We found out a bunch of dogs are actually good with other dogs that we thought weren't good with other dogs. So it's been amazing for the shelter staff, for our volunteers, and for the dogs.
So we fielded more requests this year than we ever have in the past. We recently helped a scout get his Eagle Scout award by doing a large service project with us, gathering food. We work with other scout groups, and we've been able to go into schools and organizations such as Scouts, and not just teach them about GPG, but teach them about proper care, the kind of the real aspects of rescue.
My motto is that there's a dog for every home, as opposed to there's a home for every dog. And I really want us to stretch our idea of what is the ideal home for a dog. So really my ideal world is that we wouldn't even need an adoption program, that we would be able, I guess you're always going to need to do some adoptions for emergencies, but that we could really work with the community to help manage the animals that are in the community rather than pulling them out.
Specific story, I remember when Madison first brought her first foster home, and the pit bulls have such a terrible reputation, so I remember going over to her house and pretty much telling her that the dog couldn't stay. So as time went, she would bring these pits home, and I mean, my God, one was better than the next, better than the next, better than the next. So it changed my whole outlook on the pit bull breed,
Gateway Pet Guardians is one of the most impactful, and I always call us small but mighty organizations in the area. We have always operated on a very slim budget, on very slim, staffing needs, and we're helping out a small community. So we found our niche in the Metro East St. Louis community, and that's where we're focusing, and that's where our time is focused and our energy. If you've ever wanted to help foster or volunteer at an animal shelter, I would hope you would consider Gateway Pet Guardians, because we're making a big impact, and we're doing a really big job, and we need everybody that we can get.
I think if you have a heart for animals, this is a really great place to give your time and talents and treasures, because not only are they helping the homeless animals, but they're really trying to get at root causes of what's happening with animals.
Crawl spaces of burned out houses. I've rescued dogs that you get them in your car and you just start crying because of the neglect that they've felt.
I just love our mission. I think we're a unique group. I think we're small, but we're mighty, and so we can use all the help we can get. We are mainly volunteer-based, so anything you can do, donate, time at the shelter, time at adoption events, fostering, you're gonna make a huge impact and change lives forever.
You'll find our volunteers in the community every weekend. Our volunteers know the people that we serve on a first name basis, and we know their dogs on a first name basis.
I mean, it doesn't take long to see where your money can go. It, goes to pay for whether it's a dog house or whether it's, a spay neuter for community pets. It's not where you're giving to an organization to where you aren't quite sure where your money's going. You know exactly where it's going, and you can see the results.
I mean, we're a society where we're obsessed with social media, and we're so self-involved and introspective, and then we wake up every morning going, why am I not happy? And I think that, there's a pretty simple answer, that the more you do for others, that is what's going to make you happy ultimately.
To make a difference, not just in a dog or a cat's life, but in a family's life. Because when you see the kids, I get teary-eyed when I go to a family and the kids are just ecstatic to have this puppy or this dog to be theirs, and they get to have an awesome life. That's why.
Just every day, I'm just in awe of the things that we're accomplishing and the team that we have that has helped make my dream a reality. You know, this was not my career path in life, and it has become that way.
Most people don't really know what it is, where their place is, and I really didn't know what that was until about 4 years ago.
Just so adorable, just adorable.
And that would kind of get you into the community. I mean, it's a family, you know, it's a group of people that are dedicated.
Right.
My name is Natalie Kramer, and I'm the Community Outreach Program Lead.
My name is Brittany Heinen. I am the fundraising committee lead.
My name is Kim Westerman, and I'm the volunteer program lead.
My name is Janet Roberts, and I'm the foster program lead.
My name is Kimmy Nasty, and I'm the shelter manager at Gateway Pet Guardians.
My name is Jamie Case, and I'm the executive director of Gateway Pet Guardians.
Good.